Welcome to the Weekly InSalt. This is episode 258. I am CD Reddish. And if you didn't know that already, you should have seen me at the Super Bowl ticket raffle. Every time I won something, I'm like, CD Reddish, right over here. Nice. Anyway, I'm joined as always with our sound engineer, Kurt. How you doing, brother?
Good, how are you?
I'm fucking good, man. We've got some good guests on today, and also, of course, always joined by my boy Wade. How you doing?
How you doing, CJ?
It's DC, you son of a bitch. A couple special guests in the studio today. We are joined by the lovely Sarah Tucker. How are you doing?
Good.
And Pat Busse.
I think I got a midget pregnant last night.
Hell yeah.
That's why I call you a scumbag.
I might need counseling.
And I might need to meet her.
Her?
Or him.
That's mighty presumptuous of you with your trans talk.
Just so you guys know, I'm just going to give everyone that's listening to this a little forewarning. This is probably going to be an NSFW podcast. I don't know what that means.
Not safe for women.
Yeah, we're going to talk about lots of weird things, I'm sure. But anyway,
just lets that one slip through. Sweet.
Sorry, I'm not even drunk.
Oh, that's the problem.
Yeah.
We'll work on that.
Hey, you know what? I wanted to start off the show with something a little lighthearted because last night I kind of went down this rabbit hole. When you were kids, did you play like night games and
Yeah.
you know?
Fuck
So
yeah.
check this out. I found the next one over.
Mr. Beast.
So I found this out on this is called the Roof Ball Championships. Press play on that, dude.
1 second.
Okay. So roof ball. Remember when you were
Roof ball.
a kid and you'd throw a ball up on the roof and then you'd try to catch it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, these people came up with a whole scoring system of how roof ball should work, and they made it like an ESPN broadcast.
Nice.
Are we having
Love
technical
it.
difficulties?
Da-na-na. Da-na-na.
All right.
So wait,
filibuster for me.
I don't know if I'm understanding the concept of what is roof ball. Like you throw the ball in the...
We're about to find out.
All right.
So if you catch the ball from the roof...
The basic way to score on a roof ball is the catch. You throw it up on the roof and grab it back on the rebound.
This is roof ball, man. Check out. Look how cool they look. You're gonna throw it up on...
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, dude. This is a legitimate thing.
1 point.
If you ping a random vent...
Swing and roof ball is called the ping. Throw the ball up and hit the pole, and that's worth 5 points.
It's just like their dryer or their like gas line vent or something. Pinged it.
Dude, Buddy
That's
Emmons.
worth a total of 6.
So Kurt, skip to like halfway through this video, and then you can see like how they just anywhere random. This is what like how they.
Nobody has any points yet. And that looked like it was a ping. It wasn't a catch.
There's
Look,
there's like some old Volvo parked in the driveway.
Yeah, and they actually bring the car into rules. Like if you damage the car, you get -1 point.
Crack the windshield, you automatically win. That's like running...
Minus 1 point and $300 for a windshield.
Right?
No.
Appearance, I should say, in roof ball. And that's a ping.
So what
The bank
happens?
shot ping?
What happens if you throw the ball over
The roof, you get no points, and then you also have to go do the walk of shame to go get the ball.
Oh, how dare you?
So this got me thinking. I was like, dude, I've thrown things on a roof before when I was a kid.
Right.
I'm sure you've done that before.
No,
right?
100%.
And then you try to catch it, but then it reminded me of butt ball. Did you guys ever play that?
Butt ball.
Dude, I feel like
Talk
we
about
need to
Saturday night fun.
we
right
need
there.
to bring this back because this game was the sickest shit ever. Like I'm actually challenging you right now, CD, to a game of butt ball with anybody other players that want to come, and I will kill you at this game. That's the next tab.
You guys are making fun of me with your penis jokes and whatever, and then now you want to talk about butt ball?
Yeah, check
You
it
don't
out.
want the smoke, CD.
Yeah, you don't want the smoke here. So the basic idea.
Playing a game called butt ball. The rules are as follow. One player throws the ball at a wall. The second player must catch the ball with one hand. If the ball is caught clean, the player then throws the ball back against the wall. If the ball is not caught clean, then player one has to run and touch the wall before the
Before you
second
can-
player throws the ball at
Oh,
the wall.
yeah.
If player one touches the wall before player two hits the wall with the ball, then player one
You're
is
gonna
safe.
smoke 'em.
If player two hits the wall with the ball before player one
This
touches
game was the
wall,
best.
The fake cry face he makes.
That's a
Player
YouTube
one must
video
then
for sure.
Stand hands against the wall and let player two viciously throw the ball at player one's booty. Once a
There you
player
go.
loses
Booty.
the
Dude,
Oh my God.
you
Tell me
can't-
you're Mormon without telling me you're not Mormon, bro.
So,
Or tell me you're on YouTube without telling me you're on
fun story. We actually used to play this when I was in jail.
I was gonna say this is wall ball in jail.
Wall ball, yeah.
But like instead of playing handball, we'd be like, we're playing butt ball. And when you've got a bunch of convicts,
Yeah.
shit gets violent.
And when you're out in the yard, you don't get to come back in after like 15 minutes. They're not opening up that door.
No, you're
for nothing.
You're playing until you're done.
I like this concept because, number one, it's very simple, but you're going to fuck up eventually. And then when you do, there's a punishment for it. And I just want to hurl a tennis ball at like 102 miles an hour right at your ass crack.
I love that both of you guys immediately just went to jail. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is what happens when you're in the yard.
Tells you a lot about me.
You've never been to jail. You're a nice, good,
Outstanding citizen.
citizen of society. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We'll start lying on the podcast.
This episode has been brought to you by our sponsor, Papa John's.
Salt Lake Metro Jail.
I was going to say, we're sponsored by the new prison.
So, do you guys have any jail stories you want to, like, Sarah? I had no idea. You seem so nice and like pretty and refined.
Did you ever play wall ball in jail?
No.
Oh, man.
They call it vagina
No, the
ball.
girl pod's a little bit different. It's like hair braiding and like shit like that.
Bluetooth.
Has a different smell, everything, you know.
Pennies.
Yeah.
They're burning mattresses out in the yard because they had a scabies outbreak or something.
Yeah. Jail's no fun.
Disinfectant. They don't care about us.
Kitty litter.
Yep.
What do you do with kitty litter in
That's
jail?
how-
Like, why is there there's no cats in jail?
Spills.
It's for spills. That wasn't like a pussy joke or anything like that. It's for spills. Anytime somebody throws up, they throw kitty litter on it. Anytime somebody shits their bunk, fucking kitty litter. Yeah.
Throws up. I mean, the jail food isn't that bad, is
Well,
it?
a lot of it, like in quarantine, in the front, like before you go into general population, they throw you into
Explain to the
quarantine.
listener
and
exactly what quarantine is.
that's the like basically where you go in before you go into general population. So a lot of people in that pod they're going to be like dope sick and withdrawing from
Oh, that does make sense.
drugs
Yeah.
and things. So
Drug
there's
addicts.
a lot of throw up, a lot
Yep.
of shit,
A lot of bodily fluids.
a lot of bodily fluids.
Arcing loads of
But
jizz
quarantine's fun because that's where you get Gatorade.
Yeah.
They give you Gatorade.
Green Gatorade.
Keep you hydrated, right?
Always great.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Green.
Oh, mine is always great.
That's because they love the women more.
I've
Love that
heard
for
they also give you that when you're in the drunk tank. I don't know how I would know that. I don't know.
That's basically what quarantine. Well, the drunk tank is like in the pit.
pit,
Yeah.
You guys remember that show Jail that was on Spike TV?
Is that the one where they like put kids that were misbehaving into like the jail with?
No,
inmates?
that's Scared
Scared
Straight.
Straight, yeah.
No, it was an actual like real life reality show, unscripted, with no like host or anything. It was just a cameraman that would go into jails around the country, and they happened to be in Salt Lake City at the Salt Lake County Jail on March 25th, 2000.
You're on the show?
It's an oddly specific date.
Yeah, I don't know how I know that. I just
Pat was just making a joke when he said we were lying today.
no, that was totally a lie. But no, it's interesting. Just you put a camera in front of someone and it's just weird. Reality TV. There's so much these days, and you can watch like a pumpkin carving contest or something.
My personal favorite was Love After Lockup. Did you guys ever watch that one?
Yeah,
I loved that one.
yeah.
That was the best.
I think I saw like the previews, but I never like watched it.
It was so good. There was one guy on there that I actually ended up like following him on all social media, and then he made an OnlyFans, and I subscribed to his OnlyFans. He was fine.
You liked him.
Yeah, I liked him.
Did you ever slide into his DMs a
No,
little bit?
not at all.
All right,
But I was a fan.
So you guys and everyone here, and maybe our listeners, you guys all know that I'm a big pervert. But when I hear someone talk about OnlyFans, I think that's kind of just a girls only thing. But like, there's dudes that have OnlyFans.
Oh
and,
yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like maybe someone that's gay might, but do girls actually go and like?
That's where your head went on OnlyFans, like.
It's
I
interesting.
think
Only
it's
probably a gay
mostly
guy
men
would-
watching.
I think it's
Yeah.
interesting to hear Sarah say that she's like stalking dudes on OnlyFans.
Well, fun fact, he's literally the only
The only
man
dude.
that I've ever watched. Yeah, I've never like subscribed to any other man. That's what's funny about it. But yeah, I guess it's a thing on there. I don't know.
Like you could probably make some weird money on there. I don't know how, but I don't know. Like just take pictures of your left nipple.
Just videos of him looking at other people's feet.
That too. That would be great. Because maybe there's a kink of people watching people watch
Yeah, like
feet.
a cuck feet thing.
Feet cuck.
We do know how
Feet
much
cuck.
CD loves cucks.
Feet cuck 801.
You are pioneering a new genre of debauchery, dude.
No, that's interesting though. I was with a woman recently. I won't say exactly when, that brought up my nipples specifically, the left one.
Yeah.
And it has this one like gray hair coming out of it, and
The one gray
The
hair
whisker
nipple
nip.
kink. Whisker nip.
whisker nip 801.
Funny, I'm just looking here. That's actually already a hashtag on OnlyFans. So.
NSFW. You guys are making me blush already. I keep on looking down at Sarah's feet.
Yeah, we have to be careful. We don't want
Speaking
to.
of that, you blew it on that.
I know. We don't need to talk about
I
it.
think you probably made
We're
him
gonna talk
embarrassed.
about it.
Yeah, I think we should talk about it right now.
I think CD has to be blackout drunk to be able to look at feet pics.
Oh my god.
So I'm just gonna tell
guys
you
are gonna
from my
embarrass me so bad.
perspective is that I hear that you ambush CD with your feet a little bit. Like you're like,
No.
I hear you like feet. That's what's coming from him. What I
no,
heard. So.
not
What?
the story at all. But
Oh, okay.
No, what happened is
I was cooking these guys dinner, and that's basically the whole story right there.
Oh yeah, is it?
yeah.
Oh,
that's
you
the whole
Mute,
story.
mute his mic.
Were you cooking with feet?
No, that's not, I'm not
No,
gross. My
he-
feet are disgusting.
he so kindly invited us over for dinner one night, but by the time we got there, he was blacked out drunk, which par for the course.
Yeah.
That was fine. But
Call me Tiger Woods, baby.
but yeah, I don't know. He was asking me about my feet, and I was just like, "You want to see him?" And he was like, "Yeah." And so I whipped him out and I showed him, but like afterwards, a few days later, we find out he has no recollection of that whatsoever. So the moment was too big, and he
It
saw
was.
my feet.
Pissed
He
on
had
his
his
leg.
moment,
Yeah.
and he doesn't remember it at all. So
I
he'll.
bet drunk CD really enjoyed it. It's too bad that
Oh,
you'll never remember.
He did enjoy it. His face, the way he turns away, does
Yeah,
the
it does the little hands
Mr.
thing, like,
Burns.
oh,
Ooh.
the Mr. Burns.
Oh my god.
You knew what this was.
I know. I just hope to God, like,
I really put myself out there. You
She
know
did.
what I mean?
I appreciate that. I just
I kind of want to make it awkward and be like, you should just put your bare feet on his lap for the rest of the show.
No, there's no way. He
Yeah, he
missed
fucked it
out.
up,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh come on.
Oh yeah.
Oh come on!
Dude, you fucking blew it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
disappointing. Yeah, you
saying.
blew it. You totally had the chance, man. Your one dream came true, and you just blew it.
Natural consequences.
Well, I mean, Sarah Tucker's feet is like not my dream come true. No offense, you know. I'd love to win the
Wow.
Powerball. That would be nice, you know.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so now he's downplaying the fact that he's doing.
I know. He's
deflecting.
trying to do the like reverse psychology thing on me, but it doesn't work for me. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not.
Imagine that reverse psychology comes up again.
Yeah, that's Pat's go-to.
Fuck.
Pat's go-to is the reverse psychology. Any
Really?
girl that like sees him and tries to get to know him, he's like, "No, don't. I'm a piece of shit. I
Yeah.
will ruin your life.
I can feel that.
Don't."
But like, I'm also not lying.
Yeah, he's not lying, but it's totally reverse psychology.
So
like,
does it work?
yes, every time. These dumb girls, man. I feel so bad for them.
They want the bad boy, you know? They're like, oh, you know what? My life is so normal. I just need someone to ruin me.
I'll fix him. No.
He's got a type for sure.
NPC.
Yeah, NPCs. Actually, it's crazy.
So
Explain to the listener. I know what
Okay.
an NPC is, but I don't know exactly what you're referencing. Like, what do you mean an NPC?
Take the reins on this one.
Okay. So an NPC is, as we all know, a non-playable character.
Not all of us know that.
Okay,
no.
so an NPC is a non-playable character. So somebody that isn't a main character, somebody that in the storyline, if they didn't exist, they don't really contribute to it whatsoever.
yeah, they just wander around. You don't really notice them, but they're just the people in the background.
So it's
Right.
basically like the hooker that you steal money from.
Exactly, in Grand Theft Auto.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. But
So-
you need to dumb this down to me because I'm not a gamer.
Yeah, I'm not a gamer either, but this is not just in gaming. It can also be considered like maybe like an extra in a series on Netflix, like whatever it may be, right? Or
Like
in
the valet
movie.
guy that takes your car, he's like the NPC.
Yeah.
The valet.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's the NPCs. Do you want like the whole?
Yes.
Okay.
Give the hierarchy.
Okay.
Let's get into this.
Okay.
Grab me one of those CD.
So there's NPCs.
Let me stop you. I think CD has a drink for you too.
I have a drink.
I like Pepsi.
Pops. Thank you.
I like Pepsi.
Oh, Pops.
I like Pepsi.
I love her so much. Shout
So
out to
does
her.
CD. He was so excited
She's
to
the
give this to you.
cutest.
I got that Pepsi just for you.
Pops. Thank you.
You get to see one big toe.
No. This is like.
I earned it. I earned it, Sarah Tucker.
All right. Yeah. Well, you still already got that. I gave you a front. You know what I mean? This is like.
You're still climbing the fucking ladder back up.
This is just like a. Yeah, never mind. Deposit.
Okay.
So yeah, NPC.
Oh.
NPC.
Yeah. So there's NPCs, which we've already established kind of what that is. And then there's like the crucial NPCs, right?
Yeah.
So the crucial NPCs are like where there's still an NPC, but they leave an impact. You do notice them.
Yeah.
They have like a part in the story, but they're still like an NPC,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And basically, the crucial NPCs, they're like the fan favorites.
Okay,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like they
It's like
do.
the guy in Vice City that has the curly hair. That's the lawyer.
Why are you referencing everything to Grand Theft Auto?
Because that's the only video
No,
game that I know.
that's
Okay,
it's
that's
actually
fine.
a
That
decent
works.
one to
Yeah.
use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for example, like I don't know, Hogwarts Legacy is huge right now. Like, none of you have probably played it except for Pat.
I
But
haven't yet. I'm planning on it, but
she's popular. She's on TikTok. Everything. The crucial NPC in there is Professor Garlic because she's a baddie.
Professor, can you look this up, Kurt?
Dude, and there's already cosplays of it.
Yeah.
I gotta see this. I haven't seen it.
So she's a crucial NPC, but
Get it.
as far as like crucial NPCs goes, they're not necessarily like the ones like Professor Garlic where you want to like fuck her. Like that's like an NPC that you want to fuck.
For sure.
But a crucial NPC is more
Look up
just somebody
Professor
that is like where you are like involved in their story. They kind of have like their own role.
So this is this in Hogwarts?
in life.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
Oh, okay.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh yeah, you interact with her quite a bit. She
Okay.
teaches you more than any other professor. Birds.
And
I
never
mean,
been
I'd let her
bored about
teach me a
it.
couple things.
I love how you Google Professor Garlic and it pulls up some other.
Yeah, like who's the guy
pictures
below? There's this old guy down there. Click the next one down.
Well, no, it actually shows pictures of like
Well,
bulbs
it's
of
because you
garlic.
spelled it wrong. Her,
Yeah, it's
her
with a
name
K.
is spelled different.
CK.
Well, it still worked.
Yeah,
we
it
got what
did.
we needed.
Yeah,
I just like thinking that this old guy with the hat and a garlic machine.
See, look at this TikTok right here where it's like first time meeting her. That's
Rage
Professor
Revere,
Garlic.
first time meeting Professor Garlic. They also spelled it wrong
Yeah.
twice.
They did.
How dare they?
Five fire emoji and a heart eyes heart emoticon.
But yeah, I don't want your brain to get too stuck on her
Okay.
because while she's a crucial NPC,
She's kind of an anomaly too.
she's kind of an anomaly. A crucial NPC is somebody that they leave an impact on the storyline, right? But you could go without at the
it's
same time.
yeah,
Like still.
glad to meet you, but I'm good without you.
Yeah, it's like they're a fan favorite and they provide good content.
Might fap to you later.
But not even. Usually crucial NPCs are just like not necessarily like fuckable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's what I said,
Usually
might.
they're like for
Since when
example,
did, like
if you-
video games got so sexual. I mean, do you
When
want
did they?
I mean,
Ever since the first Lara Croft fucking.
do you
video
want to
game came
give?
out.
Do you want to
Tomb
give
Raider, dude.
Luigi a hand job? I mean, like really?
I would.
No.
You Luigi? I
Yeah,
guess
totally.
That's like you don't really want all the clout of giving Mario a hand job, but Luigi I feel like is like with the way to go.
Yeah.
I agree. Because
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, I don't know Mario, but I gave Luigi a hand job.
Yeah. But okay. So you guys see, this is the problem with me using Professor Garlic because she's fuckable.
Right.
This isn't like fuckable, you know. I want that to be kind of eliminated. This is like the person that it's like in life, like you'll never necessarily be friends with them. You don't actually want them around you all the time.
Yeah.
But
the
like
person
you
that you like-
enjoy their life, like watching it.
Their interactions will give you great pleasure.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Joy to see that. Like,
Yeah, like
and
it's
a good
it's mostly
segue.
comedy.
That's
right?
a good segue too into real life.
Yeah.
That's where this conversation is going.
Yeah,
So, but
exactly.
your type has NPCs. You're like,
Apparently.
yeah, he.
Because we're gonna get into this. Like,
Okay.
like it's coming.
Yeah.
It's
So then, after you have that, then you have like the sidekicks. Obviously, you have like the sidekicks, and then you have the sidekicks that could have their own spin-offs.
and become a main.
Yeah,
Like Yoshi.
Yeah.
like they could have like a spin-off and create their own thing and become a main. And then you have like the main character spin-offs where they're not necessarily the sidekick, but they're like the main character, and then they have like their own spin-off. And then you have the main characters, right?
Yeah.
So there's definitely like a hierarchy. And then on top of that, on the other end of it, you have the villains.
Okay.
There's the villains, and then in the realm of the villains, there's the trolls. And the trolls
I like it.
the trolls aren't like,
Main villains.
yeah, they're not main villains. They're
They're
like
just-
side quest villains,
Okay.
right?
They're like the red turtles in Mario.
Yes.
Yeah,
Perfect. Yes.
like it's like the one that you said. Well, how we actually came up with the word troll is actually like the troll that you have to fight off in the side quest
Sure.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
a mini boss type
And
thing.
so so they're exactly. So it's like they're like they don't really leave an effect. Like they still have the ability to like kill you or whatever
Yeah.
in the game or in the show.
But you can beat the game without beating them.
Exactly.
You guys have put a lot of thought into
You
this.
have
Oh my
no
God.
idea. We had a
You should have seen
3.5 hour conversation on Friday night about this specifically.
We went into like everyone we know and
how did
characterized
this
everyone.
get started? Was it just became a
A sex dream that Sarah had about her favorite NPC.
Crucial.
Crucial
A crucial NPC. I had a sex dream about my all-time favorite crucial NPC.
CD, you're gonna love where this goes too. By the way, get into it.
What?
Just
You had me at sex dream.
right, but like what happened?
I
in
wish
it?
I had sex.
Like
My sex dream?
yeah, with like let's go.
Okay, so I had a dream. Dreams are fucking weird, man. So
Yes.
They are, yeah.
Yes, they're very weird.
I had a dream that so she is my favorite crucial NPC because everything that happens in her life is just gold.
You think she's like perfect?
No.
Here's the
Okay.
thing.
She's not.
Yeah, exactly. That's why she's great. Like
Okay.
that's what a crucial NPC is.
Okay.
It's like I could never be friends with this girl. I could never hang out with her. I couldn't can't stand her
Okay.
as a person, but like her content is my favorite.
Like live to watch.
Like live to watch her mess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who is it? Like,
No.
There's no way I could tell you who
Yeah,
it is.
but I'll just let's give a little context. In one day,
No.
On the
That would
internet.
show who
Yeah.
she is. You can't.
I don't know.
No, don't do it. Anyways.
this is why we ask people: is there anything you don't want to talk about?
Well,
Yes.
you did a great job of being like, no.
Yeah, I
don't
mean
do
that's
it.
fair, but I don't think enough
No.
people listen that would know.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You never know.
Okay. but
Anyways,
anyway.
so I have this sex dream, and this girl is like, the sex was amazing. Like, amazing sex with this crucial NPC in my dream. And in my dream, I was shocked by how good the sex was with this girl.
You're like, holy shit.
And in my dream, well, she started like as a girl. She was still a girl, but by the time we got done fucking, she had like an enormous dick. And
Told
like,
you CD was gonna love this.
she had like an enormous dick, and we're like fly fucking. Like she's like throwing me in the air, and I'm coming back down, and like
Whoa.
Never
like-
heard of fly fucking, but that's
Yeah.
crazy.
First.
me neither, you know, but it was wild is all I'm saying. And in my dream, I found it so funny by how good the sex was that I was just hysterically laughing. Like I was hysterically laughing by how bomb this sex was. So by me laughing, all of a sudden my dad like all of a sudden my dad, like, I hear him walking, because we're in my parents' bed, by the way. We're like in my
Of course, so it's got all of the elements. It's got the taboo of being in your parents' bed.
Exactly.
The best sex ever. Then
Chicks
of course
with
your
dicks.
dad, chicks with dicks.
Yeah.
And of course your dad has to show up.
And like, if you guys knew who this girl was, it makes it even better, but that's the part that we have to leave out. But anyways,
I don't know why we have to leave it out. I mean, you're getting very personal here.
no, we have to leave it out.
This dream created a connection, some obscure
It
connection between.
It did.
I kind of feel like I need to know off the air so I can.
I'll show you.
Oh yeah, well we can do that for sure.
I can like text you.
And we'll show you all of her amazing.
Oh god, it's so good.
That's is great.
so
Anyways,
good.
so yeah, that's basically how it happened. So then my mom and my dad, they didn't catch us, but they came into the mix or whatever. Not like that. Not like that. But
Kurt.
they put a stop to it. And like, I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. And the next day I could not wait to tell Patrick about this dream because we find her so funny. And so I tell him about the dream and I'm excited and I'm laughing about it and I'm thinking it's so funny. And then we're going to like interpret it and we're like, what does that mean? Like, why was I fucking the crucial NPC in my dream? And because we hadn't gone into any of this yet. So to us, she was just her, and we're like, why was I fucking this like irrelevant person, but she's my favorite, and why did I think it was so funny? Like, what does that mean subconsciously? And then I was trying to explain to him what she meant to me, and I just came up with like, I was like, she's like a crucial NPC.
Okay,
like,
so then
that's how it started.
It just blossomed.
And then it just went from there. We went into like everyone we know.
Every single, and like, I mean, it was in depth because we even got into like,
oh yeah,
couples that we know that like on their own they're NPCs, not even crucial NPCs, but then like together they become mains, or like a main character that turns an NPC into a main because of who they are. And then like their dogs, where like they're an NPC, but because of their dog they become a main. Like, just, I mean, the whole hierarchy was fucking wild. I felt like fucking Charlie and It's Always Sunny with the
that's exactly how it was.
It was nuts.
It's funny, so I'm not really a gamer, but like you said, it's not necessarily
you could use the same theory with like movies. You have like the main actor and the supporting actor and like the extra,
and the big show that I'm like huge, like super into right now. And as you guys have been talking, I'm trying to like plug which characters is The Last of Us.
Yes.
On HBO.
And it's based off a video game too.
Right.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my god, it's so.
I played the games though, and I heard if you played the games, then you have to like kind of take it with a grain of salt.
It is good though.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not a gamer, but I've seen photos and screenshots or whatever of parts of the game and parts of the show, and like they have everything down to the way the brick wall lays behind the character and whatever. But anyway, getting back into the whole NPC and everything, the show, and I don't want to spoil anything, it's weird because it's like Game of Thrones. They have no one is safe.
Yeah.
Right.
You have this main character that you think is going to be like a huge part of the show, and then done.
Yeah.
Dead. Eliminated.
Yeah.
But anyway, are you guys, I know, Pat, we've talked about it before, but Sarah, have you been watching that show at all?
No, which you talked to me about it when we were at your house. I need to watch it for sure.
Fucking blew it.
God damn.
Fucking blew it, man.
No, it's really good. I highly recommend it for sure. But it's interesting to, like you said, you guys were seeing the people that you know, or maybe the person that makes your cup of coffee, or that could,
oh yeah, people that walk in, like that guy yesterday at the coffee shop, crucial NPC energy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Never met him.
What did he do?
It was literally just his hair.
Just his hair made him a
He
crucial
had this wild fucking gray, like salt and pepper mullet, and like just wild.
You just see him and you're like, damn, that guy's got some
crucial
shit going.
Crucial. But like the best part about, so the best way to describe an NPC is like in your real life, like you can walk up to this person and say anything you want and walk away, and it's just like, they're going to answer these questions.
Yeah.
Like you can ask them the most wild question, or be like, hey, I'm here to drop this off. And have it be the most dumb shit ever. And like, they're just going to go along with it
Yeah.
because they're programmed to that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Is that like a TikTok thing? Because it seems I've never even thought about this.
I think there's a different thing on social media. Like there's people that have become famous off of like playing NPCs on like TikTok and stuff, where they're really good at mimicking like the idle animation in a video game, and then they pretend they're NPCs and they talk weird. Like obviously an NPC in a video game, you're not going to spend your $1 million budget on voice acting a person who doesn't matter, right?
Right.
I disagree. There's quite a few really popular actors and actresses that voice video games.
Yeah, but they're not going to be like the guy that you bump into walking down the street that goes, "Oh, my toolbox." You're not going to you're not going to hire like Keanu Reeves to voice that guy, because it just doesn't make. They're an NPC.
Right.
You're not going to interact with them ever again. It's just somebody that you bumped into.
Yeah.
But that's a good way to put it, though. Is like the NPCs are just kind of like programmed.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like floating around. Like whatever it may be, they're not really like leaving an impact on anything.
Yeah.
I love it, but it's interesting because you brought up the Last of Us. Is that what it's called? Yeah. You brought up that, and you brought up how like no one's safe, and a main character can just like boom be gone. We also got into like character development.
Yeah.
Right.
So like NPCs can be NPCs and become main characters. Through like character development of like a storyline, and that happens all the time. But what was so crazy was the couples thing.
Yeah,
the couples thing is very interesting
because then two NPCs come together and become a main, and then they break up, and then both of them are back to NPCs again.
Yeah.
And then you also have the mains that were established mains, and then like they're written off the show, or like they leave the show to move on to bigger and better things, and they're still collecting royalties.
They're collecting royalties. We went into those too.
Like,
I feel like
It's a really interesting way to describe life.
Yeah.
And
It was.
It makes it relatable into somebody who understands like that whole the whole thing we're talking about. We could probably swap out all those terms for things in life. Like they're an acquaintance, and this person's a friend. Or
Right.
You're part of my family. But
Well, it's interesting that you put it that way, because when we're going into all of this, everybody does have like to you, somebody that may be like a crucial NPC might be like a main character to me.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
right.
But when we were actually doing all of it, it's unbiased.
Yeah.
It's like from
it's objective, not
Sure.
subjective.
yeah, it's like from the big picture. What are these people?
and I think that there's really something deep there, because when you boil it all down, life is kind of like playing a game.
Yeah.
And maybe,
Look at you. Look at Wade.
maybe it is all a simulation.
You guys have seen what is it called? Free Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea
What's Free Guy?
behind like an NPC becoming a main character kind of
Yeah.
thing.
It's got Ryan Reynolds in it, and he basically figures out that he's in a video game. He's playing a game. You go get extra lives and do all this. Yeah, there's a whole plot to it.
Yeah,
it's
it's good.
basically him living in a video game.
I've never even heard.
He's
of
an NPC.
It's cute.
He is
Yeah.
a straight up NPC, but he like becomes aware that he is an NPC and like starts transitioning towards a main, but like an NPC main. It's a trip. Like it's a mind fuck when you actually think about it in the context of what we're discussing right now.
What was the OG movie to have this concept in it?
Yeah.
Tron, dude.
Exactly.
Tron was the OG movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tron.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of feel like Walking Dead too can be applied. There's so many different characters that this is just some random person, and they end up playing a really crucial role
Right.
10 years down the road.
Yeah.
Anyway, this conversation's blowing my mind out, and I think I need to go take a little puff.
Little break.
So we're gonna give you a real quick word from our sponsor. Can we tell you guys about our favorite beverages? They come from Salt Flats Brewing. Brewing. I can't say that word very well, apparently. Another hard one for me is rural. Anyway, Salt Flats, they're located at 2020 West Industrial Circle. You don't have to go to the brewery to check out their delicious craft cocktails, spirits, or beer. You can find them at the liquor store, your favorite restaurants and bars, and also just anywhere you buy beer. It's great. And we appreciate Salt Flats because they've been not only supporting the community for quite a while, but they've been supporting this podcast as well. And we hope you guys try them out. They have something for everybody. If you don't like a dark, heavy beer, maybe try something light. Maybe you want to get on the hooch. maybe you need some hand sanitizer like these guys over here. So anyway, we hope you guys check out Salt Flats. We really appreciate them, and we hope you guys do too as well. Which kind of brings me to something I wanted to talk to you guys about. Is you are both part of the sober community. So
what do you call us?
Sober McGobers.
There it is.
Yeah, gang. But I just think it's interesting because Pat, when you've been on the show before, we've had listeners chime in and reach out to us and tell us about how just your bravery about talking about your sobriety and being vulnerable and what it's like to, I don't know, the 12 steps or the 13th step or whatever.
Of course you won't forget.
More of a
He's real
tradition.
excited about the 13th step.
The 14th step is take off your shoes, but we can get to that later.
No, that's actually fucking old timer.
All that being said, though, do you have any stories you'd like to share or anything that's maybe our listeners might want to hear about being part of the sober community?
No.
Yeah, it's anonymous, dude. I'm just kidding.
No.
You fucking killed it, dude. That was perfect.
Here's
You hear
the thing.
record scratch.
I love it though. I love the segue for the beer sponsor into. So how's being sober?
And it's like, and here's the thing, like as Sarah would say, like in my case, it's 100% the blind leading the fucking blind right now.
Yeah.
Like I know that there's lifeboats, but I'm not going to tell you how to fucking get to them because I don't even know the way. I got to follow somebody else that has experience.
You can correct me if I'm wrong, but we talked before the show about I haven't smoked a cigarette since last August, but I still get those cravings like all the time. And I think going like completely sober, recovering from something that really got a hold of you is probably similar to that. You always have those cravings. You always have a bad day and you're like, well, shit, it would be great to just like die in a bottle of whiskey today. But you just
I go
have
straight to
resist it,
heroin.
man.
Oh, I was gonna say it does not matter at all. I think about heroin every single day.
Right. You know what'd be nice right now?
Freaking every single day.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter what is going on. It doesn't matter if I stub my toe. It doesn't matter if I say my prayers. Like it does not matter. It's at the back of my mind at all
The
times.
sun came up today. It's going to be a hot one. Better do heroin.
Yep.
It's
Ooh,
rainy,
it's
gonna be a
cloudy
cold
out.
one.
Yeah.
Better do some
And I
heroin.
think that's where people don't understand that, like, the process people are going through to get rid of a habit like that, it never goes away. That's why it's a battle. It's not just something you wake up one day and you're like, well, I'm really bad. I should go to a group meeting and try to make myself better. Like, it's a battle. You're constantly.
Well, that's what's interesting about it is because people have that misconstrued, I feel like. So people think of it as a battle, which it is.
Yeah.
But what's ironic about it is the solution is to actually stop fighting, take the gloves off and surrender.
Yeah.
And that's something that I always have to talk to my sponsees about, or like people coming into recovery. They're always like, I'm just fighting for another day. I'm fighting for another day. And it's so funny because I'm like, stop fighting.
Yeah.
Like, take the gloves off and just surrender. Like, that was the switch for me. That was the psychic change that made me actually finally be able to not just get long-term recovery but maintain it. The solution is actually to surrender and stop fighting the battle. Let something greater than me take over.
Yeah, I have some questions for you guys. Just coming from someone that I play around with marijuana and mushrooms, and you guys know I like to drink.
You dabble.
I dabble, but is it hard for you guys? So I'm drinking a beer right now. Is it hard for you to be around someone drinking? And is there a reason why you guys want heroin, but you won't touch anything else? You won't smoke weed.
Yeah.
You don't. Or there's like the California sober or whatever.
Don't.
Yeah, stop. So I'll from my perspective, like, you don't dip a toe
Exactly.
into heroin. You don't dip a toe into addiction. Like, it is. Addiction just is for someone who is, like, I identify as an alcoholic. Would you say the same thing, Sarah?
100%.
And the reason why we say that we're alcoholics, even though our struggle is more so with heroin or crack or meth,
Well,
whatever
everybody's
it is.
different. I'm actually a real alcoholic for alcohol
Right.
as well.
Is it hard being around me and hanging out and, you know, seeing beer and smelling liquor on someone's breath?
No.
Well, okay, so it depends. If I'm spiritually fit, no. Like, it's said I can go anywhere a free man goes as long as I'm spiritually fit. So if I have, you know, my reprieve and I'm healthy, you know, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of that stuff, then I can be around it and it doesn't have power over me. Like, I have personal experience of being around heroin. It is a little bit different being around alcohol than heroin, but like, I could have heroin sitting right here in front of me and it wouldn't affect me because I have like my reprieve and my solution. So that's why. But if I don't, it would. Like, if I'm not working a program, it's probably not a good idea for me to go to the bar. It's probably not a good idea for me to be around people. It's called sitting in the barbershop. Like, the more you sit in a barbershop, the more you're around it all the time. And that's like basically you're not balancing it with, you know, spirituality or whatever. You're going to get a haircut. The longer you sit in the barbershop, you're going to get a haircut.
Must be nice.
How we met, you were a karaoke DJ at a bar for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I people ask me, so I have a gambling addiction. And like, well, how hard is it for you to just be around cards and dealing poker all the time? It's like, it doesn't really bother me that much. But I feel, I don't know, maybe like gambling isn't going to kill me. You know, heroin will, or cocaine or alcohol.
Well, I mean, technically gambling can kill you because if you lose all your money, you become super depressed, you see no way out. Like, gambling could probably kill you just as easy as heroin for some
That's
people.
fair.
So
Yeah.
That's why we call it the reprieve too. Like, you know what a reprieve, like the definition is, right?
Please explain to the
To
listener.
stay from execution.
Yeah, so for us it is deadly. Like, alcohol is deadly. Like, for me, for example, like, love could kill me. Like, love itself could kill me. And so I have to be spiritually fit to handle any of it. So like,
do you have to believe in like an actual God, like a Christian God? Because I know that the 12 steps are based around a lot of
It's a spiritual program, not a religious one.
yeah, and it's whatever it is for you. Like, that's the cool thing, is you get to choose it.
It's a God or a higher power of your own understanding. Mm-hmm. And the even cooler part is like, to get started, you don't have to believe in a higher power. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to have that part of it figured out. You just have to be willing to believe that works for someone.
Are there any triggers for you specifically? Like, you were talking about, you know, every once in a while or every day, maybe you want to have a cigarette.
Yeah.
You think about heroin every day. I don't think about smoking at all unless I'm camping. I'm like, fuck,
Here's
I'm
the
around this
thing
campfire,
about-
I would need a cigarette.
Here's the way I look at addiction. I mean, everybody's different, right? That's one thing that I've learned from talking to people who are sober and things. Like, everybody's got their own way of handling it. What works for you is the best possible solution because it works, right? But when it comes to like alcohol, for example, it's easy to use it as an example because if you have a great day, you get that promotion, what do? You go out and celebrate, you drink, and you're happy, you have a great time. But then the next day you get written up at work and you're pissed off because you're like, I don't even know if I'm doing my job right. So you go to the bar and you think about it, and you drink because you're sad, and you don't. And then, like you said, one day you wake up and it's too hot outside, you're like, fuck it, might as well just do, you know, this today.
Yeah.
Like, it's just an excuse. Being addicted is an excuse.
Perfect word. That's what I was about to say. It's just any excuse. It's not a reason.
Right.
It's an excuse. Like, and it's not necessarily even like a trigger, you know, it's just an excuse. And I always say, like, with triggers, it's like a trigger is the bang switch on a weapon, right? Like, it's like the bang switch on a weapon. It literally cannot affect you whatsoever unless you pull it.
Yeah.
Like, a gun could be sitting here right now and it's not dangerous at all unless I pull the bang switch, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like triggers, excuses. Yeah.
And that's the thing, though, is like, we really actually don't even need an excuse to use.
No.
It's like my last relapse, people were like, so why did you use? Why did you relapse? Because I wanted to.
Couldn't tell you.
I wanted to. Like, there's no excuse. There's no fucking reason other than the fact that, like, I wanted to use, so I used.
Yeah.
Is that hard? I mean, not to get too personal, but you brought up your relapse. I've never brought it up. You and I work together personally. You know, we see each other and talk to each other quite often. But I've never once brought that up or talked to you and like, why did you, whatever. But when you have to go back into that meeting and be like, hey guys, I'm no longer 3 years. I'm a baby boy. I'm 1 day. Is that hard to like? Is there any judgment?
No, there isn't judgment. But the thing is, so I've had more than one relapse. So the first one, it was, but that's my ego. That's my pride getting in the way, and that's me telling myself in my sickness, like, oh, these people are gonna fucking judge me, or they're gonna look down on me. And so the first time I relapsed, I didn't pick up a newcomer chip. I didn't introduce myself as a newcomer to the meeting again, to the rooms, the community, whatever it was. And then after that, in subsequent relapses, I have. And the thing is because what I learned and what I've seen is that there isn't judgment. Like there might be from people that I don't know, but from the people that I respect, from the people that have something that I want, it's not like it's never anything but love and acceptance because they want to see you do well. Like it's for lack of a better term, it's like having an actual fucking, like, it's actually having people that are rooting for you to succeed. Like, fan is a bad term for it, so I can't say it's fans, but it's like
people that care. They're
like teammates. Like, you want to see your teammate succeed. You want to see your teammate do well because the rest of the team does well, because we grow together. So
it's interesting that you guys bring up, addiction, because in my experience, just I've been in the 12-step community just through
by proxy,
but also myself as well, going to GA meetings and going to AA meetings with my mom. But what I've noticed as an outsider, I guess you would call me, is that it seems like there's always something that needs to be replaced. So whether that's smoking cigarettes or drinking energy drinks, or the newest one that I've kind of noticed is how weird the 12-step community all like to kind of fuck each other. You know what I mean?
So here's the thing about that. So it's not necessarily really replacing things. It's just that it's like a fucking toxic pond. You know what I mean? Like, it's a room full of sick people. So there's going to be some mess, that comes along with... It just comes with the territory. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like sitting in an office with your work colleagues. It's
your Mormon bishop boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Like, it's not like the real world. Like, literally every single person in that room is sick. So it's going to be messy, and it's going to be
a shit show.
Yeah, it's gonna be toxic, because that's literally the purpose of why they're there, is because we're sick.
And I hope I'm not making you guys uncomfortable. I just kind of want to push.
Not at all.
I want to push back a little bit, because for you guys, doing heroin was very toxic and it was unhealthy. Yeah. But now you're replacing it with another. I mean, is it a good replacement? I mean, is it? You said it's toxic.
I would kind of argue that anybody not doing heroin is probably better off doing anything else less toxic than heroin.
Sure, I know. If maybe I'm not presenting the question well, but do you understand what I'm saying?
Like, kind of two wrongs don't make a right kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. While that's true and while that's valid, nobody's perfect. It's progress, not perfection. It's actually spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. So it's like you kind of have to have tolerance for things, because it's not a light switch.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like flip on, flip off. I'm a junkie to a spiritual guru. You know what I mean? Like, there's levels to it. And so it's like, that's where the love and tolerance comes in, is it's just like, not everybody's going to have a perfect program and a perfect life. It's kind of like, it takes you a mile to walk into the forest. It's going to take you a mile to walk out, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, no one's perfect. It's not really like a replacing a bad habit or a bad behavior for another one. It's just what can we fix and how are we fixing it?
It's taking those small steps to make some kind of improvement, and you don't know
that's
how
what they
long
say,
you
one
have
day at a
to
time.
walk back. Yeah, it's just maybe putting yourself in that environment gives you that next step.
Yeah,
You're
and like a
okay,
lot of
I'm
us,
here.
it's like I used for 9 years. Like it was a 9-10 year thing for me. I'll have, if I make it, I'll have 7 years sober in April. And so it's like,
Let's go.
I'm still not even all the way to my using career. You know what I mean? So I still have work, and I always will have work, kind of thing.
Another just random question, and take this with a grain of salt. I'm not trying
InSalt.
to. It's a grain of salt, the grain of insult.
Can't wait to hear your joke at the end.
Jesus, I won't be joking. I used to date a girl that was sober, and involved in the 12-step community. Do you guys? I know you're a pervert, so you'll probably fuck anything. But do you guys date specifically, romantically, anything?
No.
Within the 12-step sober community, or do you step out? Like, would you date a guy that's drinking or does heroin or maybe does mushrooms? Well, maybe not heroin.
That one hit close.
Been there. Fuck me.
No,
So here's the thing, CD, is it's like there's people that do. There's people that won't date outside of the community. There's people that won't date inside of the community. And then there's people, like, people are people. You know what I mean? Like,
Everyone's different.
you can't force a connection with somebody. Like, I can't be like, I am literally, like, for me personally, I'm not going to find my NPC strictly in the rooms, but I'm not going to find her strictly outside of the rooms or outside of the community. Like, I'm going to find it wherever I find it, but that's me personally.
So it's interesting that you bring this up, because I've thought about this a lot. I've even like talked about this in therapy. My problem is I feel like a normie is what we would call them. Somebody that like maybe they're sober, but not because they're an alcoholic, or maybe they casually drink, or maybe they party or whatever. They're a heavy drinker, but they're not going to die over it, kind of thing. Like whatever it may be. My problem is I can't just like get on Tinder and meet a guy or a girl that doesn't know about alcoholism, that doesn't know how to handle somebody that thinks about heroin every single day. Like, and that might be like a thinking error for me. Like, I don't know. But in my head, I have this like core fear that like somebody out there wouldn't know what to do with me.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thinking error. It makes total sense, because you've been through what you've been through, and if you're gonna be with somebody that they need to understand the signs and when they need to help pick you up, right? Because the last thing you'd want to do is like give your life up to somebody and then slip up and they don't know what to do, because you've had those experiences. And I think probably anybody that goes into a program like that, you all kind of have that similar thing.
Yeah, we have that common knowledge, that common peril, you know? So like a normal person, I don't know what they wouldn't fucking know what to do with me. Like, so it's like, I don't know.
Why are you hiding vodka
Right.
under your pillow? You know,
Yeah,
and they're like, that's weird for me. I have no idea why you're doing that. But it's like, oh, I just started drinking again, and I'm, or whatever your vice is. Because I'll drink, I drink a lot, almost pretty much every day. Take a day off here and there. But I've met, I knew a girl that died from her alcoholism, but she was literally wake up in the morning, start just chugging vodka, and she couldn't function without it. In fact, if she quit, she would have died.
Yeah,
you can't just like stop from being that bad. So maybe I'm more of a binge drinker, but to me, that was my eye opener. I was like, wow, that is a different level of addiction than I've ever experienced before. And it ended up killing her, which is crazy.
And we see that.
And that's our truth.
All the time.
Yeah, I see that all the time.
This year has already been, for me personally, there's been 3.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy. The longer I've been sober, the less people. Like when I was new, it was like a few a month.
Really?
Like one after another, just dropping like flies. And that's kind of what's weird about it. The longer I've been in the community, it's less people that I know. But when I was new, it was like fucking everyone.
Yeah.
So the longer I get away from that like last drink, it's a lot less, but it's still so normal. Like, they'd be like, oh yeah, I saw that girl in a meeting last week. Well, that's too bad. You become desensitized to it.
You really do.
Yeah, it has to build up like a little bit of a callus there, you know. You just, okay, whatever. Is there like a byproduct of that makes you connect like less, or do you disassociate with certain people at the meetings because I don't want to get too close because I don't even know if I'm going to see them?
No, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a really good question because
obviously you two are a good example of like you find the people that have the same thought process and understanding and you lean on those people. Well, okay, maybe to a degree.
No, for sure. Like Sarah and I are like, this is my best friend, and she understands me on a level that she knows me better than I know my fucking self.
Facts.
Like she really actually does. And I mean, I can't speak for her, but there's a reason why, like, the vast majority of what we do is fucking hang out with each other and talk to each other. And so when we talk about connecting with people, like, that's the caveat to all of this is it's like the most important person in the room is the newcomer.
Okay.
That's why we're there. That's the like,
so
purpose.
You don't want to see them fail.
Yeah.
No,
you're there to build them up. Yeah.
And it's like the longer you've been a part of the community, regardless of time, but being a part of that, like you can see yourself start to get jaded towards that because you see the in out, and it's like, well, I connected with this person and now this, you know. But the good part is like I got to get close to Sarah, you know, and like, so I'm not going to stop taking that chance on these people because in our community, you never know, like, you might say one thing that to you is the most insignificant fucking thing you said that day.
Sure.
And it saved that person's life.
Yeah, it was profound to them, you know. For me, it's been back and forth. Like, it just all kind of depends on your trauma response. Like, do you fawn or do you flee? You know what I mean? Like, so there's the people that I've seen that someone died, so now they're like giving it their all to save every newcomer. And then there's the other end where it's like, the newcomers are dying, get me out of here. Like, I don't want this pain. Like, and so it just kind of depends. And I've had both. You know, I've had both where it's like, oh my gosh, I need to dive in and help people. And then I've also had the like, oh my God, this is too hard. This hurts too much. Get me out of here. I don't want to feel this, you know. I've had both.
I think it's really important what you both said the same thing, and that's that the main focus is the new people because they're the ones that stepped outside of what they've been used to. They're trying to change. That's amazing that the focus is on them, you know. And I'm sure that's also overwhelming for a newcomer too, to be like, oh well, okay, wow, like everybody's just all of a sudden like really trying to help me, as opposed to before, who knows where they came from, you know. It was probably super negative. Oh, you're fucked up again? Like, no big surprise. Like, don't call me for money anymore or something, right? And then you come into that environment where everybody's
experienced
like,
all of it.
Yeah, they're just like, they're building me up. It's weird. That's foreign. That's a foreign feeling at that point for a lot of people.
Well, that's the point of it. It's like, welcome home. You know? You found your people. But what's crazy about it is, so that's the primary purpose. It's like actually in our traditions is to, the whole purpose of the meeting and the program is to help the alcoholic who's still suffering. Yeah. And it's like a cycle though, because it's not selfish, but in our steps, that's how I stay alive. Right. That's how I stay alive, is helping the newcomer.
Working with another alcoholic.
Yeah. One alcoholic with another alcoholic, sharing, you know, experience, strength, and hope. So it's like, it's not like, oh, I want to save this person. It's like, I have to do this to stay alive.
Yeah. That's really refreshing to hear, because I've been to meetings before, and it seems like you give someone the opportunity to just kind of talk about themselves, and you see a lot of that, you know, just, you know, they just want to me. And when I was in GA, we weren't allowed to share personal stories. You couldn't say like, oh, there was this one time where I went into the casino and I put $100 on red and it hit 10 times in a row. Like, you can't talk about that. It's just, it's nice to hear people like you guys that want to make it good for the newcomer, the people that are struggling, because I think we quite often find ourselves trapped into just wanting to talk about ourselves the whole time. Hey, Pat, how are you doing? Good, CD. How are you doing? You know, like I got upset that I went to work the other day and I'm like, hey, how was everyone's weekend? And everyone talked about their weekend, but no one asked how my weekend was. So it's just, anyway, it's good to hear that there's people like you out there in the recovery community that need help.
Well, don't get me wrong. I am my favorite topic. You know what I mean? Like,
you are my favorite topic too.
We know, CD.
Yeah, you fucking blew it.
but that's like the thing about it, right? That's kind of the ego death behind it. And what you're kind of talking about is like war stories, like coming in like, oh, so this one time at the casino, this happened. Like, that's not the reason we don't do that. Is it's not effective. There's no solution in it.
Yeah.
You know, so we also try to steer people away from doing too much glorifying or glamorizing or romanticizing about their use, you know.
But
you
even
can
without the
share
war
something.
stories, you know, sometimes people just want to talk, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hard thing with addiction and treating addiction. Everybody talks like, oh, we can do more to help people that are addicted. That's why we haven't answered the question, is because everybody has to heal in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's no like silver bullet. You can't just be like, oh yeah, if you take this pill, everything's good.
Well, if there was a pill,
we would have already railed it.
yeah, I'm taking 2. What happens if I take 2 of these?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and then did we really fix the problem?
Right, because one's never enough.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that's a joke, because people will be like, if there was a pill, and then that's like, the addicts are like, well, what happens if I take 2? You know, it's like there isn't. That's why there isn't that kind of thing.
And that joke is a really good descriptor of how people who are addicted think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, if there was a pill I could take to get rid of it, I'd take 3.
Right.
You know, and then it's like, okay, then you're not really fixing the problem.
What happens if I take it again the next day?
Yeah.
The next day.
What happens if I shove it up my ass?
Right.
Straight to the bloodstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, skip the liver.
Nodding at me.
Just,
you ever butt chug?
Drink smarter, not harder.
Butt chug
CD.
the Natty Light.
No, but don't fucking tempt me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anything that you want to shout out or plug, or speaking of sticking things up your butt? Anything? No? Okay, cool.
I think the joke that CD should tell. Well, CD shouldn't tell the joke because he is the joke.
Oh,
he ended the show for you right there.
Love that for you.
This has been the Weekly InSalt. Pat, go to hell.
Already there, bud.
Living the dream, Tim.
Oh, poor old Roski. He could tell we were getting a little serious there. We went from like dick pics to finding God. Dick pics and NPCs.